In my early years as a musician, I found a way to make a modest living playing the clarinet as a sideman for various occasions, mostly weddings. The first band that drafted me into their lineup was an Armenian band, and they taught me things like this. Later, I would join various other groups playing American music, which I love, of course, but that went something like this. But as a sideman, and because I could play pretty well, I was often recruited to play other types of music, including this. That, my friends, is called the clarinet polka. And at one particular Polish wedding, things got just a little out of hand. Our band leader played the accordion, and he fashioned himself to be an expert at his craft. He told us he could play just about anything, and he was willing to do just about anything to prove it. So, while at a particular VFW hall on one Saturday evening, there were four of us on stage, our band leader on the accordion, myself on clarinet, and then there was a bass player and a drummer. After wrapping up the clarinet polka, the grandfather of the bride requested that we play what's called an oberek, which is a Polish waltz. Very reluctantly, and I don't know why, don't ask me, I don't know, but our band leader obliged, and he counted down a very moderate tempo.
1, 2, 3.
Elated, the grandfather escorted the bride back onto the dance floor, and everyone else followed suit. But at some point, our leader turned around to face the band and began to play more fervently as he demonstrated his mastery of the squeeze box. He beckoned us to increase the tempo by bobbing his head back and forth. Confused by the situation, we complied. But as we continued, he repeatedly cued us to pick up the pace. Faster, faster, and faster. It was at this point that something didn't feel quite right. Gazing onto the dance floor, I noticed that, well, the grandfather had turned beet red. Fearful that we might be losing the crowd, I urged our leader to please slow down. I was completely ignored, though, as his smile was widening in some kind of a frenzy, his fingers gliding over the keys with relentless energy and increasing tensity, with a heavy stare aimed directly at who else but me? Why? Now I was alarmed. I watched in horror as the grandfather sank to his knees and fell down to the floor. Unfortunately, they carried the man out on a stretcher. With all the confusion and stress, my bandmates and I looked at each other, trying to figure out what was going to be our next move. I was dumbfounded and lost in my own thoughts. I was interrupted by our leader counting down yet another brisk tempo, starting a new song, as the rest of us meekly followed on. Somehow, someway, people started coming back to the dance floor. We finished the night, albeit on a somber note. And that right there is the power of the polka. What else can I say?